Okay, I just brushed her out from yesterday. So if you feel like after you finish your faux hawk updo that you can brush her out, go ahead and do that. I brushed her all the way out. But what I am going to do is I'm going to use some pomade if anybody has any pomade, just so that will help with her frizzies. In case she gets some frizzies. And I have bobby pins, hairpins, and just going to run the pomade through her ends.
Stuff we got in our bags.
Yeah, you have pomade in there? Did you get some pomade? Yes?
I think so.
Yeah, is it in a tub like this? I asked for some.
No. Like it is in a tub like that. It just doesn't look like that.
Yeah, it's probably a different one, but this is the one I have at home. That's awesome. Yay. So you can use some of that. What's that?
You're supposed to get that in our kit?
Huh?
You're supposed to get that in our kit?
I wanted to. Did you get some?
No.
Did anybody else get any? I don't know.
We only got hairspray, I think.
Oh, a hairspray. A hairspray
Yeah.
was okay. That's great too. All right. So I am a person, so she's been brushed out, so she still has the wave in her hair. Hopefully you'll be able to do that. I am a person that I always like a side part. If you want to part the hair in the middle, you can. I don't care. I'm going to side part the hair. And you're going to go back 2 inches from where, so whether you part it in the middle, you go back 2 inches or the side part. So for me, I'm side part and I'm going back 2 inches. Okay.
Miss Salido,
Yes.
we have some like this.
What is it? I can't see.
I'm sorry, it's like a sign wax.
It's a wax.
That's supposed to make fake wounds, I think.
Oh yeah, that's not for hair.
So then we don't have those.
Okay, so we just couldn't make it happen, but you got a hairspray?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's okay. I use some wax if you guys have shine at home, or if you don't, it's okay.
Miss Salido, can you add me to the breakout room?
Sure. Let me see where you are. Carlos, assign 1. All right, Carlos. Good? Probably gone. All right, so let's focus on what we're doing right now. Okay, so side part for me, that's what I like. You're going to come back 2 inches. Okay, can everybody see that? And then we're going to make a 2 inches parameter all the way around the head. It should be as even as possible. So a 2 inches guideline, a 2 inches a section all the way around. So I'm going to start from my part and I'm going to go all the way around the head. 2 inches. And make sure the 2 inches is 2 inches, because a lot of times we make it too small and you might not get the same look. So I think I'm making her like 3 inches and that's not what I want. So 2 inches. 3 inches is too many. And I'll show you what this looks like. All the way around. Okay. And to the side of the head and then down to the nape, same thing, 2 inches. So I'll see if I can show you on the, I don't know if this, is this light helping or hurting? I just don't know.
It's helping.
It's helping. Okay, thank you. Okay, so 2 inches from the part, 2 inches all the way around the head, right? And you're gonna end up with a ponytail here in the center. So all the way around. Let's see if I left 2 inches here. Okay, so this is about 1.5 inches, so I'm gonna take more off the bottom here and then come around the side. It's gonna be a big circle. You're making a big circle with 2 inches section taken out in the front hairline all the way around the doll head. So does anybody have any questions about that? Felt like I was a little high back here, so I need to make it a little lower. All right, I think that's good. Okay. Okay, so does everybody get the right idea? Yes, no, thumbs up? Thumbs up, okay. So we're gonna put this into our ponytail and we are going to, I want the ponytail to be right about in the middle of the circle. So not high, not low. I want it to be like in the middle. Okay. So probably right about, maybe, well, let's make it right in the middle of our circle. And then always to be safe when you're putting a lot of hair in a ponytail, I like to take 2 rubber bands. We're gonna still do the rubber band trick, but I like to secure and hold the ponytail, and I've always put 2 rubber bands together in case one breaks. Oops, one broke. Go figure. That's a lot of hair you're trying to manipulate. That's the reason. Okay, and then it's just loose and saggy. And so that's why we're gonna come in and we're gonna do our technique that we learned, because that is really gonna hold. Definitely use 2 rubber bands when you're doing it this time, because it's a lot of hair to manipulate. So 2 rubber bands, 1, 2, okay? And you always can watch, I love how you can watch the ponytail perk up when you do this. Let's see if it does this time. Come in on the top. And then come around. We got 2 rubber bands, so we should be pretty secure all the way around. And then all of a sudden, you could see how the ponytail perks up. It's holding taut, and you can pull it tight, and that's good. So this is what your first anchor looks like, your first section, 2 inches all the way around the head. Try to make it not more than 2 and not less than 2, as even as you can. Makes it easier to work on it. Okay. But now that we've got that, any questions about that so far? No questions? Okay. Okay. I'm going to start on my heavy side because I parted on the side. Now, if you choose to part in the middle, you can start on whatever side you want. I don't care. Okay. All right. And I'm going to take about a 1 inch wide subsection, and I'm actually going to take it at a little bit of an angle. So it's going to be a little wider in the front and more narrow in the back, my section.
Miss Filippo,
Yes.
can you move her to the right a little bit? Like my box where my face is covering what you're doing at the moment.
Okay. So move her this way.
There you go.
Your box too.
Good. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So a little bit wider in the front. I'm just going to take kind of a triangular section here. my first section. And I'm gonna have to open this up for you guys so you could see up higher. Okay. So this is one of the ones we're gonna create a knot. Now, how I like to make a knot, maybe you make knots different. Some people go like this. I turn my fingers away from me. I come in, you can come in kind of low. Twist the hair around, open my fingers, pull the hair through, and I have a knot. She's a little twisty looking, so I don't want her to be twisty looking, so I'm going to do her again. And then I want it so that you can pull her back. We're going to put a knot, and we want to cover our part, and we want to put our knot right about here, our first knot. So I'm about 1 inch behind the line, my subsection line. That's where I'm going to put my first knot. So I'm going to come in, create the knot, come down. It's about 1 inch behind my my subsection. I've got a big tail, and I'm going to use 2 bobby pins. Again, not opening them. You can turn them upside down to hook them in, and you're going to come in under that knot, and you want to get some hair. And you're going to crisscross these bobby pins so that they hold that knot to the head. And then afterwards, they'll hold better because we're going to connect them with another pin, another knot. Okay. And unfortunately, I'm saddened by the fact that I have silver bobby pins, so at least you'll be able to see these. So that's what it looks like. This is the knot that I made. This is the tail of hair. I came past my my section line, and I put the knot 1 inch past that on the first section. Anybody have any questions so far? No? Okay, so I'm going to go on to my next one. Same thing, about a 1 inch section, triangular. Comb the hair up nice. This time, I add the tail of my knot to my section. This is where the word connected knots come in. I create my next knot, and I place it right next to the first one. Same thing, bobby pins, 2 to hold it down. These are creating anchor. So now you can see, I'm sorry about the pins. I have 2 knots right next to each other. And I have a new tail. No more tail for the first one because I connected it. And I'm going to continue this pattern. You want to always cover your section line. You can also, your creative part can be, you can make these, don't make them any bigger, but you can make them thinner if you want a ton of knots, or don't make them too much thicker. Okay, I've got my next section. This one's coming more straight back because the head's not as rounded here. I've got my tail. I put my tail and my section together, tie those in a knot, pull the hair through, and then I place it here. Right next to it, I've got 3 knots in a row. Hopefully I can start hiding my bobby pins pretty soon. I hate that. I'm trying to hide them. See my 3 knots, 1, 2, 3. Make sure it looks aesthetically pleasing, going back, and you just continue the pattern. Get your next subsection about 1 inch. Go all the way back to the part. You got your tail from your last knot, and see how nice it's holding. Connect your new section and your tail, and you create your next knot. They're all in a row, right next to each other. You're making a circle. You're just a little past your subsection line. Put your bobby pins in, don't open them. If you open them, you spring them. Don't spring them. Okay, and you just continue. So this is what it looks like on the side. We're gonna basically fill this whole circle in with our knots. And this girl can do any kind of dance at her wedding. And you're getting up all this long hair. It's really amazing. Next section, this is our last section on in front of the ear. Connect that with our tail knot, our tail from our last knot. You know, follow the circle that your knots are going in. Pull your tail out, anchor. You guys can see where this is going. Got all of your knots back there. The side looks nice. Okay, so once you pass the ear now, we're going to start swooping the hair upward from the bottom. Same amount, 1 inch on the part. Come in at a diagonal. It looks better on the partings. Create that next knot. Anchor. And come on the bottom, come at an angle. You've got your tail, your knot, connect. Anchor that knot. All right, if this is going to be the last one on the bottom, you can see my knots going in my circle. I'm getting my last one on the bottom. Comb that up so it looks nice. The bottom of the section, got your other knot, and you connect it, anchor it, and you've got another tail. All right, oops, this one doesn't want to stay, it's acting fussy. Okay, so we've got our circle. Now we want to fill up the inside of the circle. So we're going to take our ponytail. You're going to split the ponytail in two, and then you're going to split it again. Okay, this side we're going to do with the other side knots, and this side is going to be with this side knots, tail knots. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, can you turn the doll a little bit?
I
we
sure can.
see?
You got it.
Yeah.
So I split my ponytail in two, and I'm working with this half of it, and I'm going to split it in two again. So it's basically gonna be in 4 sections. So I've got this and I'm connecting these two and I'm gonna start to fill up my circle. Actually, you can split this ponytail in as many as you think you're gonna need to fill your circle up. So section, I'll help you with that. Connect, make your knot, place it, anchor it. Now we're going to be working our way back in to fill on the inside of this circle. We got a lot of anchors here. So we've got our tail from the last knot. Can you see that? And you see that's kind of a big section, the half of our ponytail. So I'm going to break this again, put it together with this one. Fill in that circle where you need to fill it. So it looks aesthetically pleasing. You're on the inside of the circle now.
Miss Lito, you're not going around in a circle anymore. You're just filling in the
I was
space.
going around in a circle this way. Now I'm on the inside of the circle going upward.
Okay. Cool.
I'm just filling it in. It's really hard to see and I know it, but I'll help you when the time comes. Great question. You're actually, it's not necessarily that you have to do a circle, but you want to fill in the blank spots in here now. Fill in where the ponytail was. Okay, so I have tail and I have this much left of the other side of my ponytail. Do you guys think I should split that? Yes or no? I think yes. So I'm going to split it again. Keep asking questions. I love questions. Any questions are fine. This one here. Okay. Can you see? I know it's so hard to see. I don't know if there's a space available where it's just the ponytail. And I want to put the knots in that space so it fills up the whole back. I know you can't see it. I'm sorry. But that's where this knot's going to go. It's filling in that circle. So the whole back's going to be filled in so nicely.
So Miss Salito, you only went halfway around the head. You didn't go all the way around.
Right, because this side is going to go around that way.
Would you normally do it all the way around first, then fill it in?
No, I normally do it half the head, fill in one side, do the other half the head, fill in the other side with the other half of the ponytail. Just exactly the way I'm doing it. Okay, so I have this piece left and this knot. I feel like I have more space that I want to fill in, so I'm going to split this up. Put these two together, make a knot. Whoops. I knew you need a lot of bobby pins for this, so I knew I would. Okay, and now I have my last one. I'm going to take this, and this is about the last strand of hair from the half of the ponytail, and I'm going to fill this one in right above it because it looks like there's a blank spot there. I want to try to cover some of the pins that I had. And then what do you think we're going to do with this tail piece that's left? Can anybody take a guess?
Pin curl?
No, we're going to connect it with the last knot from the other side. Okay.
Okay.
So can you guys kind of see how now this is all knots? It's almost like a crown. And then when you turn it, there's all the knots are in the inside now. So we went this way with the knots down the head. And when I got the half of the ponytail, I was bringing the knots to fill inside the ponytail, going up the head, filling in the blank spots. Okay, so now I'm going to come to the other side.
Salito?
What's that?
The
Go ahead.
blinds, does that Does opening the blinds make it easier to see?
I don't know. I can try. I'm open to that.
Thank you.
Usually it's just neighbors and stuff and my dog, she's acts foolish. But I'm happy to. How's that look?
Actually, Miss Lido, if you stood on the other side, you're not blocking the light. Like if you're able to work, like flip them around, I think we'd see better. Or is it just me that thinks it's better?
So I'm on the other side now?
Or is that just me? I don't
Like
know.
if you, like no, yeah, I understand what you're saying, Miss Lahi.
Sorry,
Yes.
guys.
Yellow. If you just turn the, yeah, you just turn the whole doll around too when you work on the other side.
Okay, I can do that.
Just gotta be
That?
separate.
It's so dark, Miss Alito.
I'm so sorry. Let me try
Not
that.
worse. Did I make it worse, guys? I'm sorry.
Miss Lahi, I think if she does the other way, it's like when she first started doing it with her blinds.
Does that make a difference?
Blinds.
Nothing. I opened the blinds in the other.
We're kind of thinking if you go back to how you were, it was probably better. Instead of where I said to stand.
The what?
Stand how you were before. I think it's better.
That's
Looks
okay,
like
I'm
you're-
open.
Your light source is like on your right, my left.
Mhm.
Does your camera turn to the right?
I don't know.
That's where I see the light coming from.
Let me see if I move this here. Does that help? Ooh.
There we go.
Better.
That's way better.
Okay, so you can see that a little better.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah, we see that.
one side. So now you guys will get to at least see the other side. And so you see how we had the ponytail in the center. Now it's all filled with knots, filled in all the gaps.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of see now that we can see the difference. The other side has nothing filled in. This
Miss
side,
Lee.
we connected all the knots. This side, we're gonna connect all the knots. Does that make sense?
So Miss Alito,
Yes.
when you got to the bottom, you just took half of that ponytail, correct? And you started using
Yeah,
pieces
I
of,
split my ponytail for that whole side and I split pieces of that ponytail for
Perfect.
each knot coming up.
okay, thank you.
So we'll see if we can, since we might be able to see it better now, hopefully that'll help. Okay. All right. So. Well, can you still see it that way or no? Yes, no? Well, let's see if I do that. I don't know, you guys, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna start on my other side now. I've got my front, and you always want to make sure your front looks aesthetically pleasing. I see this is like a little split, and it's always a good time for a hairpin. Hairpins really work with splits and stuff, like they seal things right up. So you just can put it in and fix any little bumps that you don't like. So you can definitely see the difference, right? That we have all the knots here filled in and now we're coming in on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to start. This is going to be different for me to do it this way, but I'll make it work. Okay, again, a little angle. My first section, I don't know if you guys can see this though. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Maybe I can stand here. Okay. All right. Okay. So my first section, remember we want to make sure we cover the part line. I'm going to take my first and create my first knot. And I'm going to anchor that to the head with my bobby pins. And you hope it stays. And now we have our first tail on this side. Okay. That side. first knot and tail on this side. And you can really see those bobby pins, which is my hugest pet peeve on earth, one of them. All right, so next subsection. Connect your knots. Put them together. I need to get more bobby pins, sorry. You're gonna use a lot of bobby pins. These are big ones. At least they're a better color, but. Okay, so just check your balance. Okay, I see a little split right here. I'm gonna fix that with a hairpin. Hairpins are the best. Bring the hair together. Fix your split. Look, split be gone. Love it. Get my neck, I got my tail. My next knot. Put those two together with my tail. Create my knot. Anchor with my bobby pins. Don't open those bobby pins. I still have students that text me whenever they put their bobby pins in their mouth. They're like, whoops, I just remembered. Don't do that. Got my tail. My knot.
Miss Selena,
Yes.
would it give it a different look if we did like a loop or not?
Some students choose to do that. You can do that. I'm not a, I like the hair like in there. I like if you loosen the hair and you loosen the knot, you loosen the bride's possibility of the hair falling out, but you can do that as long as your knots, you still have at least, they're only an inch apart. You know what I mean? You can do that. Like this one I like because I'll shake this doll when I'm finished. She's gonna be able to dance at her wedding any dance she wants. And that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to help you out with updos so that you can see that what needs to be done for people's hair to stay in. You know what I mean? And get up long hair. Like it's not easy. When you have somebody that comes to you and they have this much long hair, it's a task to get the hair up, out of the way, keep it up, everything. It's just it's a task for long hair. So if you do these knots, but Hannah, you could try it and see if you can still anchor it with the pins. It might be harder if they're loose. You know what I mean? We'll see.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see. Last one. I just got my tail, put them together, and I'm gonna start filling in my circle. Okay, so the other side of your ponytail, you can see the spot that I have a lot of blank is like in this area right here. This is where I'm gonna fill in now with all my knots to give her that princess look and that crown look back here. You can look at her from the front. She looks okay. I'm going to use some hairpins right here. Yeah, sometimes I want you guys to do this exact same shape and technique. But like I said, if you want to put more knots, that's fine. If you want to try to do them a little looser, that's fine. I just want the back to be all filled in. Okay, so I've got my one tail and my last tail. Let me get on camera. I've got my last tail and my tail that I'm going to start. So I'm going to take this last ponytail and start splitting it up. And I'm going to create my knots, and I'm going to place them to fill in the gaps. And now that I have a lot of anchors in there too, they hold so nicely. Split my ponytail again, my tail, get my next knot. Now I got a longer tail, so that's good. Also, I like to tell students this one here, usually the first one when you do it, everybody usually likes to do it again because it always looks better the second time. We get better as we go along. So now I've almost completely filled up my gap. So I'm just going to create, now I want to put a knot so that I cover the ponytail spot. And then I still have my last tail over here to connect them all together. Okay. So I want you guys to see the back is all connected with knots. Looks like a little crown princess. The bummer is that you can see my pins, which I'm sorry. I grabbed a box at the school and they were silver. Very nice. Now I'm just going to fill it all in so it looks like aesthetically pleasing, right? And balanced. We want the balance to be good. Okay, have this. I'm going to make one more and then I'm going to connect them all together. All right, so I've got my last part. I've got my tail that was just left, and I've got my last part of my tail. I'm going to put these two together. Now all of my knots are connected. I'm going to use this piece to cover exactly where the ponytail was. I'm actually going to tie it up a little more so I can put it all together. I'm just doing like shoe tie knots. And now I'm going to tuck, and I want to try to make it look as aesthetically pleasing as possible. Unfortunately, I have these stinking silver pins, but it's going okay now because I can hide most of them. Okay, so I have a little piece here that's still left. Sarah, have you done any updos like this?
Not
Sorry.
this, but I
Huh?
like that like you can hold a ton of hair this way.
What's that?
I like that it can hold like really heavy hair.
That's the whole point, right?
And the idea too that like if you did do bigger pieces or smaller ones, it look totally different, which is
Totally
really
different.
cute, I think.
Okay, so just look at her from the front. You want to like the balance. The side looks like a little princess in the back. All the hair is up and knotted. If you feel like, okay, like personally me, I feel like that looks big over here or something. I don't like the balance. That's when I get a hairpin and I try to like, I don't know, make it seem less and push it down a little bit so it gets how I want. I see something like over here that I don't like. I'm going to put a hairpin, put them together. Hold on. And now I fixed it to where I like it better. And overall, if you were using brown bobby pins, you really wouldn't see one at all. Kind of looks like a crown, like a princess. This girl, nobody's going to do this on their wedding, but she could. She's going to look great the whole time. So any questions? I'll help with this one. It's once you get going, you'll see it all come together. Any questions for Our Lady? Our Lady Maria? Lady Maria, her hair is up and she's ready to dance. All right, I'm going to stop recording.